Hey guys, it's Angelo Esquivel here back with another review. Today I'm going to be reviewing this dash cam. Now unfortunately this particular dash cam does not have a model number, but I will put a link in the description to where you can buy this dash cam if you're interested. Now this is the dash cam outside of the box. It's made mostly of plastic, and I think it's actually all plastic, and it's very lightweight. As far as the build quality goes, it's kind of mediocre, and I'll get into the details in a moment. But really quick, let's go over the specifications of this dash cam. According to the box, it's a 2.7-inch screen, 3 megapixel CMOS sensor, has a 170-degree wide viewing angle, which I will talk about this for just a moment. I have seen the video that this produces for this wide angle, and I gotta say, it is wide. I can put this in the corner of my window and still see everything from the far right to the far left lane and a little bit beyond, so it really is wide angle. I like that because then it's not in the way and it still gets the job done. Now it can record in 1920 by 1080 at 30 frames per second, or 1280 by 720 at 30 frames per second, or 60 frames per second. Now one thing I want to talk about for a moment is the fact that this records in H.264. That's one of my favorite formats, and it is a compressed format. So you'll be able to get more video per memory on this device than you would some other devices. I had a previous dash cam that recorded in uncompressed AVI, and when you're recording uncompressed, it takes up a lot more space a lot more quickly. This thing can also do looped recording, so as soon as you run out of memory, it'll delete the earliest video in order to make space for the latest video that it'll be recording. Now this camera does have a touchscreen, but the touchscreen can be a bit finicky. You really have to press hard on the screen in order for it to register what you're trying to make it do. Overall, the build quality feels kind of cheap, and I did run into a few issues, and I'll go over that in a minute. But moving on through the specs of this particular device, it has a GPS tracker capability, so if you get in an accident, you'll know exactly where you were when the accident happened. It also has something called car license plate registration. Essentially, you type in your license plate number onto this device so you know that this device belongs to your car. One thing that I find interesting about this that other dash cams don't have is it's got a mini HDMI, so you can hook this up to your TV. It also only takes micro SD cards, and it goes up to 32 gigabytes for its maximum capacity. Here's where I came into a bit of an issue. You need to format the micro SD card in FAT32. And then you need to let this device format it for you. So essentially, you start with an SD card, micro SD card, and mine started out as NTFS. That would not be recognized in this device, and I would get stuck with a bunch of errors. So I did it in FAT32 by formatting it on my computer, and then I put it in here and formatted it again, and now it works. So keep that in mind when you're using this device, because it can cause a bit of a headache if you don't know why it's not working. Now here's one thing about dash cams that may or may not be good depending on where you live. Different states in the United States have different laws about recording audio, particularly when it comes to a police officer. If a police officer pulls you over, your rights as to whether you can or cannot record audio vary depending on your states. Now these laws change all the time, so I can't say which states allow what. But I will say that the audio on this is pretty darn clear. In fact, I dare say that despite the fact that this is a cheapo depot feeling and looking kind of device, the video and audio it records is surprisingly good. I was expecting it to be kind of cruddy, but I looked on the video on my computer and I was actually quite impressed. So for the next part of this review, I'm going to show you what the video looks like in 1080p at 30 frames per second.
Yeah, because I drive on the other side, you see.
That's right, yeah. You guys are
opposite of us.
Yeah. See, where you sit in your car, I think when you get out, you're onto the side of the pavement.
Yeah, well, we're on the opposite side. We drive on the right side of the road, and we sit on the left side of the car.
Yeah, that's it.
So we're just driving around. This is America.